The third wheel centers around a big middle school dance, and I get to explore the boy-girl dynamics I've never really gotten to explore before. So it's all about prepubescent romance. Girls are a difficult subject for me in the Wimpy Kid universe because girls are this sort of amorphous mass. You know, they all sort of look the same. And the reason for that is we're seeing these stories through Greg's perspective. You know, we're hearing it from his point of view. And so he doesn't really understand girls, so they all seem kind of the same to him. And so in this book, I need to drill down a little bit more and get familiar with a few girls and pull them to the forefront of the story. Well, Greg's objective is not to make a meaningful and lasting relationship with somebody. It's to get to the dance. You know, he needs to be there for reasons unknown even to me at this moment. But Greg needs to be there, and the whole book centers around his quest to get a date and to be at the dance. I'm a little bit nervous about the next book because I have a series of jokes that are probably my best writing for this book, where Greg claims to be able to remember everything. And so he remembers being in utero and you know, listening to everything going on around him and his mother's conversations, you know. I'm in a perpetual state of writer's block. You know, I know that my book is due for the fall, but I don't know where the ideas are going to come from. I know they're in my head, and I just need to figure out how to pull them out, but I've never been very good at it, so it just takes lots of time. What I do first is I come up with tons of gags. In fact, I have it down to a science. I have to come up with 350 good gags to write a good book. And right now I'm at 254 for my next book. So I don't want to start writing until I've come up with all of my gag ideas. And I have a few ways that I try to tease out the ideas. One is by riding a bike in a circle in my cul-de-sac. One is by putting a blanket over my head and just being in sensory deprivation. But my new one is actually to read parenting magazines. I think by the time I've written this book, I'm going to become an expert parent because I just have piles of parenting magazines. I read every single article and just, you know, read from cover to cover each book, and it's given me lots of ideas. When I think of a joke, I immediately think of an image that goes with the joke. And so I actually come up with a joke and then I assign a number to the joke because that's how many images it's going to take to play that out. And that's how I know how many jokes I have, because I need about 315 drawings per book. But I don't get to draw until very late in the process, and then it gets really tough because I end up drawing sometimes as many as 15 hours a day for, you know, weeks and weeks at a time, and I have to eat in my lap, and it's just rough. So I wish I could enjoy the drawing process because it's therapeutic. It's like sewing or you know, some kind of similar hobby, but I have to do it in such a rush that it's not very pleasurable. Yeah. Everything about writing the books, whether writing, coming up with the gags, or drawing is very, very difficult for me. And it's made more difficult by the fact that I have other obligations as a parent, and then I have a full-time job. So I'm always balancing a lot of things at once. The most enjoyable and rewarding part of writing these books is coming up with a gag that works, that I know works. And every book has a number of gags that I feel are really pure and really original. And every so often I'm given that gift that I can have that one joke that just motivates me to keep going. It's really strange for me to meet my readers because I actually wrote these books for adults, and I still do in a way. I sort of write them for myself or for my adult siblings. And so when I actually meet my end user, my real audience, it's always surprising to me that they like the books as much as they do. And recently I've gotten to other countries. In fact, I just came back from Australia, and I'm finding that kids engage with these books the same way as the kids in the States do. And I just think there must be something universal about childhood for people to be enjoying these in the same way. I'm really actually hoping to make a Diary of a Wimpy Kid animated holiday feature. I think that would be really cool. I'd like to take my shot at it. You know, Greg Heffley so far on film has only been in live action form. And I think I'd like to see the DNA of the books, exhibited in a way that's very true to the character. I've written a treatment for the holiday special, and I've made a pitch, and right now we're negotiating it. So I hope, fingers crossed, that it's actually going to happen. But I want to write about Greg Heffley trapped inside with his relatives on Christmas. I think that'll be a lot of fun. I have absolutely no desire to be on camera, and I sort of fell into this cameo role, and it was so painful for me to stand there and try to act, and you could just see it on my face. You know, everyone around me is an actor, and they're effortless, and for me it's just like, it's total strain. In fact, I have this look where I'm a concerned parent, and it's just embarrassing to watch. I'm not sure how many Diary of a Wimpy Kid books there are going to be. As a writer, I feel really lucky to be a parent because all of my ideas from Wimpy Kid come from this frame of reference of my own childhood. And now I'm getting to see a whole new childhood play out with my kids. And so I'm getting to get a whole new batch of ideas from them. I used to feel like there had to be an ending. I think I was writing my books actually during the Harry Potter saga, and it felt like there needed to be a concrete end to it all. But I really realized that the DNA of my books is in cartoons, and the best comic characters don't age, they don't progress. And so I'm going to keep writing as long as I feel like I'm writing well.